So in this video, I'm going to share 12 passive income opportunities to pay your rent in 2024. Look, we've set up numerous passive income sources over the year that pay me thousands of dollars per month, and I want to share some of those with you in today's video. Some of them I have set up myself, and others are ideas that I think really have a lot of potential in 2024. So let's go ahead and get started with this video. Look, we're not selling you any courses. There's no big get rich quick schemes. These are things that you can set up to make you money in the future. Now, before we talk about these 12 different opportunities, I first want to help everyone understand that passive income, it's kind of like this buzzword that everyone throws around a lot, but you have to understand that in order to get passive income, it requires something up front. You're either putting your time up front, you're working a lot up front, you can reap the rewards of that work later on down the road, or you are putting money up front, and that money makes you more money, which ends up being what we call passive income. Okay, it is difficult to obtain passive income, but it is very possible. I have checks that come in the mail every month that are thousands of dollars. It is very possible. So let's go ahead and start with the first one here, which I think has a lot of potential. And this one really truly is passive income, which is renting out space in your driveway, or if you have any land, renting it out for parking. If you have a parking lot, if you have a spot where someone could park their car, did you know that you can make up to $100, sometimes even $150, $200 per month to let people park in your driveway? I know that I've done this as a consumer. I've paid people to park my cars in their driveway. When I went to college, I was at Penn State. I was paying, I think, $100 per month to this guy to park in his driveway because I didn't know where else to park my car, right? I couldn't leave it on the street. And this guy probably had 20 or 30 kids paying him $100 each per month. So he was making $2,000 to $3,000 per month by literally doing nothing, just letting people park in his driveway. It's pretty crazy. But I think this is a great opportunity because I know there's a lot of homeowners out there who are looking for some extra cash. A great way to do this is something like Spot Hero. They're not sponsoring this video. I've just used them as a consumer. And so I'm pretty sure you can list like a part of your driveway on Spot Hero. You know, people have like RVs or something that they need to park somewhere. You can rent that out to them. So that's one that I think is a really cool opportunity. Obviously, if you're in like an HOA or something, it could be difficult and you might not be allowed to do that. So read into all of your local zoning laws and everything. But I think there's really great potential there to at least, you know, pay your Wi-Fi and pay your water bill and some other things by just letting people park in your driveway. The second opportunity for passive income, this is one that I call mailbox money because it pays me every quarter. I get a check in the mail from this. And this is building an affiliate marketing website in a very specific niche. So we have one that is in the farming niche. I'm not going to share the exact one because it makes us still quite a bit of money, but we have a farming affiliate blog, literally agriculture affiliate blog that we create content on. We have about, probably 200 different blog articles about the farming industry on there. And that pays me, I get usually a few $1,000s per quarter. So every 3 months I check my mail and I get a few $1,000s. This comes from my business partner who runs this, and he creates the articles. He does all of this. So for me, it's truly passive income. But affiliate marketing websites, we've had so many of these in the past and they've made some pretty good money. It does take time to build up. So if you did want to build an affiliate marketing website, you could use something like Bluehost to build this. And this is a basic WordPress host. I'll leave a link to them down below if you want to check them out. And you can see the rates here. You can get Bluehost for like $5 a month. I kind of view it as like an investment for building a website. So if you just create a website using Bluehost and, you spend 12 months on this, you put out 30, 40, 50 articles, there's a chance that you could end up making some passive income. I can't guarantee it because, a lot of people will do this and fail and it won't work. And maybe they're not good at writing articles or they didn't realize they could just use ChatGPT to write articles for them. It is possible. I just don't want to make any guarantees here because, otherwise people get mad at me because they tried it and it didn't work. But I know that it works because I've done it myself. We've built quite a few affiliate marketing blogs. Basically, the whole goal of this is to rank on Google for specific search terms. So when someone searches for best investing apps, if your website is at the top there and you're working with the investing app companies, they're paying you to write about them, you can make a lot of money. I have friends who have sold their affiliate marketing blogs for tens of millions. Actually, one guy who I only met briefly sold his website called The Penny Hoarder. He sold it for $102 million and it was just a website. It was a blog, which is pretty insane. So there is a lot of money to be made in this specific space and it really is passive. Every day when I wake up, more people find our website and, end up buying things through our website. So Bluehost, just go build your site. Just do it today. I think it's a great opportunity. You can probably build, your website in like 2 hours after this video and stop waiting. Okay. Seriously. Because people will just kind of think about this for years and never act on it. And that's something that I did myself. myself, and it really ended up like shooting myself in the foot, because it'd be like 5 years later, I'm like, why am I still waiting to build a site and launch something? Okay, so just do that after this video. Sign up for Bluehost. It's, you know, like $5, $6, $7 a month. I don't know what the price is going to be, but I do have a link to it down below in the description that you can check out, and we'll leave any discount codes down there below as well if we have any. Okay, so that's one that I think has a ton of opportunity. The next one that I think has a lot of potential for making passive income, this one is actually putting money up front and then reaping the rewards of that. And so this is something as simple as investing into dividend stocks on a platform like Moomoo. If you invest into dividend stocks, basically whenever you invest into companies, certain companies will pay you like basically kind of as like a thank you, or like some of the profits basically from the company, they'll pay you cash for owning that stock. And so, you know, I own JP Morgan stock. For every share of JP Morgan, I think I get $1 per quarter every 3 months for owning JP Morgan, right? And so, you know, I only get $4 per year, but that's per share of JP Morgan. I don't want to confuse you here if you don't understand the stock market. I do have a full dividend investing tutorial, but basically I get free money from the stock market that pays me every 3 months from these companies. And if you own, you know, 10,000 shares of JP Morgan and it's paying you $4 per year per share, that's $40,000 per year that you're making from JP Morgan, just paying you literally cash into your investing account. So you can do this through something like Moomoo. They actually have some pretty cool offers right now. I don't know how many free stocks they're giving away, but if you use the link in the description below, you will get a certain amount of free stocks when you fund your account. You put money into your account and you can start buying stocks, and they'll give you some free ones. It's a pretty cool deal. I don't know how many other brokerages really offer a deal like this. I've been using Moomoo for many years. I trust them myself. So you can go ahead and check them out. If you want to get some free stocks and just get started and like, you know, making passive income, you might only make a couple dollars per year in passive income if you only, you know, put $100 in there, but it's still better than nothing. And I think it's a pretty cool, interesting opportunity. Just remember, of course, you can always lose money in the stock market. So nothing here is guaranteed, and do all of your investing at your own, you know, risk, and make sure that you're making your own decisions rather than listening to some random guy on the internet. Just had to do that little disclaimer there. The next passive income source, I think this is a great one because this is one that we set up sometime in early 2023, is running email newsletters on something like Beehive. Beehive was a company that launched a couple years ago, and basically it's pretty similar to Substack, but on this, what you can do is you can build email newsletters. We built one, like I said, in I think it was February of 2023, and it's gained tens of thousands of readers on this newsletter. It's all about tech, and so what we do is we advertise on this newsletter. We set this up, we promoted it actually through YouTube and through Twitter, mostly through Twitter. This tech newsletter, it's for anyone who's interested in like AI or, you know, what's happening in tech, what are some new things, right? And everyone gets this on a weekly basis. It comes out every Friday, this newsletter does, and we include sponsors in that. And so we pay someone to write this newsletter for us. We give him, you know, like $100, $200 in that range per newsletter. He writes it for us. It's fully automated. And then we include sponsors in the newsletter. So we make money from really not doing much, just kind of promoting the newsletter and growing the newsletter. And in fact, you know, people can actually make a lot of money from newsletters. Look at something like Morning Brew, which I believe they sold to Business Insider for about $75 million. And Morning Brew was a newsletter. It still is a newsletter. They have other things as well now. They've grown quite a bit over the years. But it started off as a newsletter, and they ended up making tens of millions of dollars when they sold that newsletter. But in the process, you know, like our newsletter, our AI newsletter, it makes us money every month. I don't really do much. I kind of forget about it sometimes. So it's a pretty cool opportunity in 2024 using something like Beehive. I'll show you their site here. You can have up to 2,500 email newsletter subscribers, and it doesn't cost you anything to run it on this platform when you're below 2,500. Then, you know, there are some expenses if you want to really scale it up, but at that point, you probably won't even mind paying $50 or $100 per month because you'll be doing so well with the newsletter. So try building one of those. It could just be something fun that like every week you write something interesting, and then eventually, once you have enough readers, you can just monetize it and make some nice cash on the side. I think that's a great passive income opportunity there. So the next option here is to create courses on Udemy. So if you're skilled in a specific area, let's say that you're really good at understanding Microsoft Excel. Turns out there's a lot of people who need help with Excel. And so you can make courses on Udemy. They're not sponsoring this video. I've just used them in the past as a consumer. You can, you know, make like a full course on how to use Excel, post that on Udemy, and they will, because it's kind of like a marketplace, they kind of will promote it a little bit and try to get you some initial customers. And, you know, I have friends who have used used Udemy where they'll make a course and it will be relevant for 2 or 3 years, and they'll make 6 figures from that course over the span of its life. So yes, this is one of those things with passive income where you have to put up some work up front. You might spend a full month every weekend building a course on Udemy, but then once it's made, it's made. And you can reap the benefits of that for many, many years to come. So Udemy is a really cool one that I think a lot of people are overlooking. Okay, here's another option for passive income. It's buying and selling domains and also things like Instagram handles or other social platform handles. I own a lot of internet domains, things like .com, .net, .org. I own a lot of them. I definitely own hundreds by now. And I get inquiries from people who want to buy them sometimes, where I might buy a really interesting domain that someone forgot to buy, or maybe it's like someone's political campaign that's running in 2024 and I bought it back in 2016. Now they want it. I can sell it to them for $5,000 or $10,000. I've done this in the past, so you can do it as well. It's more of a waiting game though, and it's not one that's very consistent. So I don't know if I'd recommend it to everyone. And sometimes, nobody's interested in buying those domains. But like, just to be clear here, what I'm talking about is like, for example, NateO'Brien.com. I bought that like 8 or 10 years ago probably. And if I didn't buy it back then, someone would probably scarf it up and sell it to me later, and I'd have to pay them thousands of dollars for it. So do something like that. Just buy domains that you think can be really interesting, that maybe somebody will want in the future, and then offer to sell it to them for a markup, for a profit. Keep in mind though, you got to be careful of something called cyber squatting, where like if you buy McDonald's.com, they have the right to that because they own the trademark. Not to get into the weeds there, but it is something that you can consider doing. Okay, the next option here for passive income is to buy intellectual property, also known as IP, and you can reap the rewards from this. So for example, movies, once they're created, they're actually sold after a certain period of time. They're sold to private equity groups, to individuals, to businesses. And so this goes with like anything like Monopoly, for example. There's intellectual property behind that where it gets bought and sold. Movies, music, someone can buy someone's record label. If you follow Taylor Swift, you'll remember, I think it was like Scooter Braun bought Taylor Swift's music. I actually haven't followed it entirely, to be honest. I'm not quite a Swiftie, but still, like people can buy and sell other people's music and movies. Like someone owns the Beatles' music, right? Even though most of the Beatles are dead, someone owns that. Or like Jimi Hendrix, someone owns his music, even though he's not around anymore. It might be his family, or his family might have sold the rights of that to someone else. If you own the rights of movies or music or any type of intellectual property, you can license this out to, like, let's say you own a movie, you can license this out to Netflix, and you can make a lot of money from something like that if you acquire the right movie, especially at the right time. So consider doing that. It's kind of hard to get into. There are some websites that you can do it on. I just haven't used them myself, so I can't absolutely vouch for them, but I'm sure you can find a way to do it if you are determined. The next option here for making passive income is to rent your car out on something like Turo. So this has been around for a while. I don't need to touch on it too long, but I do have some friends who make some money renting their car out on Turo. Basically, you become like your own Avis or budget car, Hertz type of company. And this can be good if like you're not using your car very much. Maybe you live in a city and you only drive it like a couple times a week anyway. If you own it, you can just rent it out, make, sometimes $50 a day, $100 a day, depending on what type of car it is. And at least, pay for your car payment and other things as well if you use something like Turo. I'm pretty sure they have some nice incentives for people signing up. You can check out their website. They're not sponsoring this, but I just wanted to include in this video because I think a lot of people own cars already. Okay, so there's a couple more here that I want to mention, and this next one is one that is a little bit sketchy, not gonna lie, but it's lending money to other people. I've done this in the past before where, maybe my friend needs some cash, I'll loan him money with a certain amount of interest on top of that. And so, yeah, like I said, I don't know if I would absolutely recommend this, but it ends up being passive income for myself. Like if my friend needs $10,000 or a guy needs $10,000, I'll lend it to him, plus, maybe 20% interest. It depends how risky I think that person is, how well I know that person. And so this can end up being, some nice ways to make passive income. Sometimes people will screw you over. It's happened before in the past. And whatever that happens, I have to account that into my equations when I'm trying to figure out how much interest to charge someone. But it is something that, I do. And so I wanted to just, include it here in this list. I don't know if I'd absolutely recommend it, but, if you trust someone, then it could be a way to make some passive income. Just be careful with that one for sure. And make sure you read into your local laws and regulations regarding lending money and requiring you to be a bank and all kinds of other things as well. But if it's just friend to friend or, family member to family member, sometimes it can be understandable, at least for my own personal self. So another great source of passive income is literally just putting your money into a high interest savings account. So if you use something like SoFi, you can get over 4% yield on your money. So if you put $1,000 into a SoFi high yield savings account, you would get, I think, about $40 to $50 per year in free money, basically just bank interest from parking your $1,000 in there. If you had $10,000 in there, you're getting $400 to $500 per month, per year from something like SoFi when you park it in high interest savings accounts. So I'll leave a link to SoFi down below in the description if you want to check them out and sign up for it and get that bank account to basically just park your cash in something that should be government insured as well. You can read the fine print on the app when you are signing up for it. Another thing you can do is just store people's stuff. Like if you have extra garage space, this kind of goes back to the first point that I made about having, extra space in your parking lot or in your driveway. You can do this as well in your garage, in your attic, anything else. You can just rent this out to people. I have friends who own self-storage units, and these are like multi-millionaire people, but there's a reason why they're doing so well. Is because people have so much stuff and they need something to do with it. And so this could even be your neighbor, this could be someone in your town. You can just post this on Facebook or post this on even Craigslist or some other sites and say, hey, I have an extra, empty bay in my garage. If anyone wants to use it, the price is $300 a month, and just kind of see if anyone's interested in that. It could even just be like an extra bedroom in your house that you could say someone could use for storage or anything along those lines. That is truly passive income. It's really like the amount of things you can do if you own a home, the amount of things you can money you can make from it by just renting out certain parts of your home, certain parts of your property. If you own a lot of land, there's so many opportunities there that you can do. Okay, and the final source of passive income that I wanted to share with you in today's video, to start investing into bonds. You can do this on something like Public. So this is an app where you can actually buy and sell stocks as well. You're also going to get the opportunity to invest into bonds and high yield, basically short-term treasuries, long-term treasuries. I don't want to confuse people here with all this bond lingo. I have a full bond tutorial, but basically bonds are back. Bonds are paying like 5+% interest. And so you can buy these on Public. I'll leave a link to them down below in the description. I don't know if they have any free things. You might get like a free stock if you sign up for them. If you do, I will leave that below in the description as well. But those are some different passive income sources that you can utilize in 2024 to make some extra cash. Let me know if you have any questions, any issues, any problems, anything else you'd like to talk about. Feel free to reach out to me on Twitter or on Instagram. I'll leave them right here, so you can go ahead, follow me, reach out. I'll try to respond. I can't promise I'm going to respond to everyone. Thanks for watching the video. I hope you found some value in it. And if you take one of these ideas, if you use one of these ideas, please just let me know. Let me know how it's going and follow up 6 months from now and tell me, hey, Nate, I did this. I built the site using Bluehost. I built an affiliate site, and now I'm getting, 200 page visits per day or something. That'd be so awesome to hear. I would love to hear it. So thanks for watching the video. I hope everyone has a fantastic day, and I'll see you sometime in a future video.